given that it's nearly been 3 years since the last video that I put out, I'm surprised I still have 512 subscribers. Oh, well, last time I checked I had that many. I thought it would have dropped to 0 since I've not been putting any content out. And, well, I don't know. Maybe you guys are wondering what's happened during the last three, nearly years. I could have worded that better, couldn't I? Anyway, yeah, it's, things have been up and down, since the end of 2013. March 2015, we moved from around the Greater Manchester area to Liverpool, and we've been living in Liverpool for the last 18 months. I've been diagnosed in the last 18 months as having JIA, which is juvenile idiopathic arthritis. Apparently it's hereditary, though it only seems to have flared up within the last few years, and I'm the only one who seems to have shown some major signs of it. My mum's not, my mum doesn't move most easily. She gets stiff sometimes, but she doesn't have this arthritis. But yeah, they've essentially, during the last 18 months, I've been on painkillers, steroids. I'm on anti-inflammatory drugs, which also suppress my immune system. So I've been sick quite a few times. And by sick, I don't mean vomit. Well, I might have vomited a couple of times while I was sick, but I mean more susceptible to cold and flu, and basically I have to be really careful around anyone who's showing sickness symptoms. In terms of urban rivals, I haven't actually been, I think I might have played 5 matches during the entire year. I've still been keeping up with the fandom. I've been keeping up with the news and new clans. I was there when the Raptors came in. Was it the Raptors last year? Yeah, it was the Raptors last year, and then it was I was there when the riots came in 2014, and I was there when I was here this year when the Hive came in. I'm not too keen on the Hive at the moment. I mean, the kind of vibe I'm getting at the moment is, if you've seen Rick and Morty, the episode with Unity, I imagine the Hive being kind of like Unity, trying to get everyone together in this mindset against the Vortex, except they don't have the this old scientist grandpa trying to lead them astray and be a bad influence. I do find it interesting, though, that there is a clan out there that Dragon actually seems to fear in some way. And I'll be very interested in what the leader of the Hive looks like. But given that they call the Queen Mother, I suspect we'll have another woman. I think it's great that we're getting more female characters in terms of clan leaders. Like I said, I haven't been playing the game so much, but have been keeping up with the lore. I've not really drawn it so much this year either. We recently had Mr. Clint City, and myself and Yowie Huntress Earth, we did the usual. She set up the unofficial Mr. Clint City pageants, got all the votes in. Mr. Fairbanks was the winner, and last night we got the winner's art uploaded. We would have got it done earlier, before the weekend, but I ended up having some unscheduled visits to places, and I had a convention at the weekend as well, so I didn't want to be rushing around and rushing through cleaning up the artwork and stuff and removing all the backgrounds. I'm glad we got a Montana winner for the Mr. Clint City, even though it is an unofficial thing. Miss Clint City, I wasn't really interested in it this year. I mean, there probably were some entries that were quite controversial, but I believe we do have a good winner in Impara Sloan. I honestly think her husband, her partner, whatever you want to call Rex, what Rex Swag's relation is to her, I do think he would have been jealous. Maybe not to the point of what I said on Facebook, like when Mycroft Holmes yelled at Sherlock to put your clothes on. But I imagine he probably had to be held back a bit. No, that's that's the law, that's the headcanon. Other people might think he would have been quite relaxed about it, maybe. I am now going off on a tangent. Sorry. But yeah, I've been keeping up with UR. But during the last year or so, I have been really getting into wrestling. Mostly the WWE. I'm recently getting into TNA. Well, I say TNA. I mean more Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. I can't do the accent that well, but yeah, a couple of friends that I made earlier this year at one of the conventions have been getting me into like the Hardys and that. I'm aware of that the Hardys were in the WWE a few years ago, but yeah, I honestly do prefer, in terms of the actual gimmick, I prefer Broken Matt Hardy, but I do think Matt Hardy in the WWE was better looking, even if Broken Matt's hair is quite floofy. But yeah, mostly into the WWE. I've been cosplaying wrestlers as well. I've been getting into cosplay in a big way. I may start cosplaying Urban Rivals again, but in all honesty, the wrestling fandom is much bigger, and I keep getting inspiration and ideas to cosplay different things, like different wrestlers and stuff. I mostly cosplay the guys, like I did with Urban Rivals. I've cosplayed Dean Ambrose. That's who I did in earlier on this year, March 2012 at MCM Liverpool. I've cosplayed AJ Styles, who I did this weekend. I first did it at Casual Meet, did it in July at Manchester, cosplayed this weekend just gone. Who else have I cosplayed? I've cosplayed some like Wyatt family-esque stuff, kind of like a Sister Abigail kind of thing, like how I imagine her. I'm not going to start going into all the Abby stuff because I've been coming up with the headcanon and lore for her since about May, June, and we would end up going on a 20-minute video with this. I plan to cosplay Roddy Piper later on in the month, and Enzo Amore. Bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing? I'm trying to work on the accent, and sorry if I scared any headphone users there. I don't know if I'm going to cosplay any women apart from Abby. I mean, if I was going to cosplay a female wrestler, I would most likely cosplay Becky Lynch, but I would trade the shorts for like longer pants or something, or at least wear some leggings underneath, because given that the arthritis makes my knee flare up like a gigantic knee. The drugs keeps the swelling down, but yeah, even before this flared up, I didn't like showing my legs that much, so yeah. I guess that's one reason why I prefer cosplaying dudes, because they usually have trousers on. I usually have to wear the shirts because I'm not gonna go topless. Trying to think what else to say, really, because to be honest, I wasn't really thinking of making a video. I didn't really plan this. If you watched my videos in, a few years ago, you'll know that I don't script this stuff. I just talk off the top of my head, as I said. Feels less rigid and rehearsed. And those are the words that I actually said to my friend earlier today on Facebook. My friend Leon, he's he wants to apply for a job at What Culture. And he was saying about how voice acting is harder than it looks. And I was saying to him about, I got thinking about the videos I used to do, on this channel. And, how I have to start again if I really fluff up on something. What I didn't say is that I would usually only start again if I fluffed up in the first 2 minutes or so. But, anyway, what else? I guess if I get the motivation and the inspiration and I can, actually win the matches on the new platform that they've set up the Urban Rival games on, I may start doing videos again in the new year. I've got the time, but given that the drugs make me, sometimes the drugs put me in more pain than they're supposed to relieve. I might not have the energy for it, but I definitely have the time and stuff, because naturally, given my disability, I'm not really in the energy or the state of mind to effectively look for a job at the moment. In all honesty, it's like, I would like to get a job, maybe working in a game store or something, but at the moment it physically isn't possible, because I can't sit down for too long or I get stiff. I can't stay on my feet for too long or I get stiff. I'd have to keep taking tablets at work. If I was behind if I went to the CEX, I was behind a cashier, I would have to sit down. Can't be on my feet all day. I find it difficult moving around. I'm not the quickest on my feet with my arthritis. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to turn into a video where I complain. But no, given it's nearly been 3 years since the last time I actually put out any kind of content, I've got a lot to say. And not the most elegant of endings, but I think I'm going to end it there for the time being. I may put out another video like this in the next couple of weeks, in case something big happens with UR. I'm not sure if I'm even going to do gameplay videos, because I'm so behind on the cards and stuff. I've got some of the cards, but because I've not been playing and getting credits and that, I'm really behind on the cards. But I will look at them and, it's maybe give an opinion of cards on paper, and see maybe get people's opinions on how the cards actually play out in a match. And I may actually end up doing some videos on wrestling as well. I'm quite pretty sure the people who know me, like the friends I've made in the wrestling fandom, I'm pretty sure they would be quick to agree with me when I say I am pretty opinionated when it comes to wrestling stuff. I've got, in the last year, I've got into the fandom quite quickly. I've been looking up past stuff. I've been looking up, history of feuds and that. I wasn't even watching when, Daniel Bryan betrayed the Wyatt family. I get really offended by the fact that he did that. And then again, I wasn't even getting to the Wyatt family until about April, May. When I first got into wrestling about this time last year, well, it's not when I first got into wrestling, but when I started getting into wrestling big time this time last year, I was like, oh my god, the Wyatt family was so creepy. Please go away. Please take your Deliverance beards and your Deliverance gimmick and your Deliverance stairs and just go away, please. But now I'm like, Bray Wyatt, he's such an adorable, spoopy lot of floof, because of his beard and stuff. I like his dreads as well. I love what he's done with them. But yeah, might do some wrestling stuff. Might go back to some UR stuff. It depends if people want me back. I know people. Well, I was gonna say people like Shockey, but he doesn't seem to have done anything in the last couple of years. And I'm kind of hoping he comes back. But I know people like Meep are still about. Hopefully, maybe can start again in terms of that friendship, because I was pretty angry at him a few years ago with his attitude and that. But I've grown up, I've matured, I've let go of stuff, and I just realised that maybe we just had two very different personalities when it came to our UR stuff. So I'm willing to try and maybe work with him at some point if he's willing to work with me. And maybe get, maybe work with Lezard again. And I'm trying to I'm trying to remember names off the top of my heads, and I'm forgetting people's names, and I'm sorry. And I hope I got your name right this time, Lezard, because I know you've always said to me, I call you Lizard and that, and you'd be like, no, that's not how you pronounce my name. But anyway, sorry, I've just babbled for the last 5 minutes now, so definitely going to cut this here, and I will maybe see you guys again. Hopefully a lot sooner than the next, than 3 years. Okay, signing off, that girl with the cards. Laters.